China is facing a growing economic challenge in caring for its aging population as the number of elderly skyrockets. So the government is now taking steps to make sure their families share in that burden. David McKenzie joins us from Beijing with details of a controversial new law. So David, how does this work?
Well, Patricia, it is a controversial law and certainly getting a lot of reaction here in China. It's an amended elderly rights law, and essentially the headline is that people who have elderly parents could be prosecuted, even face jail time for not caring for their elderly parents. Now, it's specifying, suggesting that Chinese need to live close to their parents, even live with them. It's also saying that they should help, the spiritual and material needs of those elderly parents. It's certainly a controversial law. State media is saying they've already, prosecuted or at least settled a lawsuit regarding this law. China has a very large elderly population. By this year, some 200 million people will be over the age of 60 here. And that large ballooning population is very difficult for the country to afford to pay for. And with young people or the children of elderly increasingly working away from home, there is that social difficulty in caring for the elderly.
So, David, now I'm wondering, there are so many migrant workers in China. How would this affect them? They usually live so far away from their families.
Well, that's true. And with the migrant workers, a lot of people on Weibo, on social media, are saying that this law isn't really realistic. I want to quickly read through a couple of those statements. It's been roundly ridiculed, this law, online. One person says, this law is oppression to those who work from dawn to dusk, away from their parents. I'm trying to make a living. How is it going to work exactly? Will those who violate it be sentenced to jail? And if they do, how can they see their parents in prison? One other person saying the new elderly law shows how morality in the society has deteriorated. There certainly is some soul searching in China about caring for the elderly in a society which often was very good about that. But with changing demographics and more people working, gaining a salary, it certainly will be difficult to care for that ballooning elderly population.